Hello, my name is Tim Price, Director of Harvest Ministry, and I am a fan of youth workers. I have worked with a lot and partnered with many youth workers around the Midwest and around the country, leading retreats, conferences, and camps, and being involved in their ministries in local churches. And I'm thankful for the ways that people have invested as a voice of faith in the life of teenagers, including those who invested in me as I was a young adult and a teenager and a student. And I want to thank you for the possibility of sharing with you today these 3 ways that you can intentionally equip your leadership team. And whether you are paid or whether you are volunteer, if you are the point person for the student ministry to the next generation in your church, then you have an obligation to gather a team around you and help them to be effective in ministry. And whether that means you have one person with you at a smaller church or a smaller ministry, or if you have 500 volunteers. Either way, these are 3 ways you can intentionally help build your leadership team. So we'll jump in. The first one is that we would care for our teams. It is so important amongst all the other things that are out there for a church leadership staff person to think about. Vision and mission and culture and programming and strategy and all those things. But number 1, our job is to care for people, to love them the way Jesus loved them, to work through them not just to accomplish something, but to allow their lives to be fulfilled by God's grace. And so we care for them in a number of ways. We actually check in with them. We just ask them questions about their lives. We pray with them. We open up possibilities for them to connect with us through text or through phone messages. We make sure that we check in when there are needs, what's going on in their lives. We could do this by keeping them in the loop so that if we cancel something or if we're going to announce something big, we let them know first. We can care for them by allowing them to build trust with us and us with them, tagging them in posts and giving God thanks for them in public. All those ways allow our team to know that we care for them. That's number 1 way that we can intentionally build our leadership team. When people know they're cared for, then they are in a much healthier place to serve. The second one is to give our leadership team opportunity to grow in ownership. There's one thing if we just have people who are obligated to show up or they feel like that's their duty, but it's another to take people who we have handpicked or who have been given to us or whatever the case is, and invite them to grow in ownership of the ministry. This may not happen overnight and basically never does. Not very often do you find a volunteer and just say, take over here, please. But it does happen when we take those steps to say, we want you to become an owner. And just declare that. Let them know that you have a vision for them to be actively and fully engaged in the ministry. Michael Hyatt has a great little piece on 5 steps of delegation. Breaking it down, it basically means that you start small, double checking what they're doing, and then grows to the 5th level, which is they go do it. And sometimes you're even following behind them at that point. We need to have that kind of intentionality in our ministry, that our leadership team isn't just there to do tasks, but that we are growing them in the responsibility of ministry. And the third one is to equip. We need to equip our leaders. And there are so many ways that this can be done. We can equip by attending a conference or a leadership training event together. And often those are great because half of the equipping comes on the drive there or the travel there and back. Other times we might read a book together as we meet up during the week. Maybe it's that we would send a link around for them to read a blog post or something like that. Meet together to talk 30 minutes and pray together 30 minutes before a program event. In any case, as a leader, I always long for the opportunity or the possibility to get on the internet and Google this, a quick leadership devotion for our ministry team. I work with a lot of different teams, and I always just wish I could just print something off that I could just hand out and say, let's talk through this, let's think about this. Every fall, I get the opportunity to lead at The Well, a youth ministry seminar and training event around the state of Illinois. And this fall, after presenting that in several different cities with several different youth workers, we've put together the 4 words that are needed in order for student ministries to get and keep students connected to their churches. Each of these 4 words I'll describe in a short video, 8 or 9 minute video that will not only include the word and a little few thoughts about it, but also some questions for discussion for your group and some ways that you could take action steps toward it. This video is available and this series is available, and I want to invite you to check it out and to utilize it with your team as a new season begins, as a training opportunity opens up, so that you can intentionally grow your team. As a leader, I want you to care for your people, give them opportunities for ownership, and equip them to be and do the work of the church. Thank you.